Hello everybody and welcome to another UFC Fight Night review. Hey! So yeah, we're at the Frank Owen Center in Austin, Texas for another UFC Fight Night with the main event between Cowboy Cerrone and Yancy Medeiros. And we're going to get to the actual Fight Pass fights because I actually got to see them. I know it's very rare to do, but there was a lot of finishes on this card and we're going to get to those after we've gone through these two. So, Oscar Pereira beat Tim Williams by knockout in 1 minute 54 seconds round 1, and Alex Moreno beat Josh Burtman by guillotine choke. 2 minutes 12 of round 1 in that fight, respectively. Both really good, both going getting up, so it's 2-0 to the ups already. But yeah, I really liked both fights. Pereira really impressed me with his knockout, as did Moreno with his guillotine choke. I don't remember enough about these fights because I did so gloss over them because they were Fight Pass fights, and I'm not really used to talking about them because I don't usually get to. But both still enjoyable, and yeah, both really good ways to cover the parts we don't really see of the UFC. So, good. Even though I did accidentally spoil the Pereira finish because I accidentally skipped a bit past it, then I had to rewind to see how the win was done. And then I got to see the fight. So, yeah. Moving on to the actual thing now. The prelims, I mean. So, woo! We start off the prelim card with the fight between Sarah Moras and Lucie. I forgot surname already. Pudilova, and Lucie won by unanimous decision. And this fight's going to get up. It was a really exciting back and forth fight. It wasn't Fight of the Night worthy and didn't get Fight of the Night, but it was probably my second pick. I mean, it was extremely exciting. Moras definitely showed her. Morris, not Moras. Moras definitely showed her better jiu-jitsu side in round 1, but in rounds 2 and 3, it was pretty much all Pudilova. Pudilova. I did say it right that time. Pudilova. That's going to be a difficult name to get right because Pudilova made a debut and beat a very tough veteran in Morris. So, yeah, fight gets an up, so it's 3-0 to the ups. I really liked it. Couldn't agree more with the decision. She won by unanimous decision, so moving on to the next one. Really good fight, this. We then move on to another up as, this is going to be a bit confusing, but Roberto Sanchez fought Joby Sanchez, and Roberto won by submission due to a rear naked choke, which is going to, I mean, the fight's going to get up for that anyway, because I like a rear naked choke, but it's just going to get one up all in all because it was a good finish. So, yeah, 1 minute 50 seconds of round 1. He eventually just, got the back, and that was all it took. He got, the body hooks in with his feet, and it was just a matter of time before he actually got the choke in. So, really good work by Roberto. These two aren't related, by the way. I just hope we don't suddenly see an influx of Sanchez's, because we used to have a really bad influx of Brazilians with the surname Silva. None of them were related. I think the only relatives now in the UFC are Sergio and Anthony Pettis. No, there's the Diaz brothers and the Millers. No one really talks about the Millers, though. I'm pretty sure there's others I'm missing. Anyway, yeah, really good fight. Gets an up, so it's 4-0. I enjoyed it. Moving on. Next up is a fight between another newcomer named Jeff Neal and a dude named Brian Camozzi, who is the brother of Chris Camozzi, if I'm not mistaken. And Jeff Neal won at 2 minutes 48 seconds in round 1 by a bulldog choke, which, this fight's going to get up. 5-0, it was a good finish. And it's especially rare to see a bulldog choke, especially considering when I'm used to seeing them, it's more from a seated position. But Jeff Neal pulled it off against the cage. It was sort of a kneeling position more against the cage, and he managed to still get it over Camozzi. And also, I just like a bulldog choke. It's an underrated submission. You don't really see it. Even though, fighters have said it's basically the schoolyard bully thing, it's that kind of thing that you would do to pick on the nerd. It's a damn good-looking submission. I mean, it looks aggressive. It looks like a bulldog would, I think that's where it got its name, or maybe I'm just making stuff up and I'm an idiot. Very likely. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and we're going to move on to the main event at prelims now. So, yeah, 5-0 to the ups. And we cap things off with a really big up, as Carlos Diego Ferreira took on Jared Gordon and won by TKO in round 1. 1 minute 58 seconds, so just under 2 minutes. Gets an up, 6-0. It was a really good finish. But I mean, it was a fairly back and forth fight before that, to be honest. I mean, Jared did get some really good offense in, but he eventually got clipped with a really good uppercut combo, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was a left hand. I forget. Yeah. I think my only regret about this whole card was there was a lot I don't remember, even though I only saw it a few hours ago, but it was still enjoyable. But yeah, this fight gets an up, it's 6-0. Carlo's got a really big win, so move on to the main card now. We kick off the main card with a fight between Super Sage Northcutt, one of Texas's own, against Thibaut Gotti, and Sage won by unanimous decision, and the fight's going to get up. I mean, once again, it was super exciting, pretty back and forth. Even though most of the excitement happened in round 1 and rounds 2 and 3 was sort of more stalemates, it was exciting enough to not completely be forgettable, and I did enjoy it. And Sage needed a win like this big, I think, because Thibaut Gotti has got some mean hands, and he can knock anyone out, and he came close a couple of times, to be honest, but Sage pulled through, managed to use his really good grappling. He's got really, really good wrestling, and eventually managed to get the win, so I quite enjoyed this one. Although there was a moment early on where Sage did accidentally kick Gotti in the nuts, and then there was a moment in round 2, I believe, where they started off, and Northcutt threw a head kick, and it hit, and one of his toes accidentally poked Gotti in the eye, so the fight had to be stopped for that. I think that's the first time I've actually seen an accidental toe poke in the eye. I mean, we see it with hands all the time. You know, like when the fight is backing away and they do that. My head looks fucking gigantic, but you know what I mean. Like John Jones does it all the time, Conor McGregor does it, Sage Northcutt did in this fight. Pretty much every fighter's done it subconsciously. It's like a thing that's just wired into their brain. But Northcutt managed to get him with his toes by accident. It's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, good fight, gets an upset at 7-0. We're going to move on now. We then move on to the fight of the night, and probably the biggest up of the night, between Brandon Davis and Stephen Peterson. And, yeah, gets a huge up, so that's 8-0. Really enjoyable fight. Just a whole hell of a lot of fun to watch between the two. I'm not too familiar with either of them. I've seen Brandon fight before, but Peterson, this is his first fight in the UFC, and he really impressed me. He was really, really tough. He got a nasty hit, a nasty cut on the side of his scalp. See, the good news was, and this is something the commentator said, the good news was because of it being on the side of his head, it won't get into his eyes to blur his vision. The bad news is when the scalp is cut open, it bleeds really fucking badly. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. But he was a tough son of a gun, and he managed to tough it out. And Brandon got the win by now decision. I think that was very cool. But it wasn't an easy fight. This fight will probably not be in my top 10 of the year, but it was definitely the best fight on this card. I have no disagreements with that. It was super exciting. And two relative unknowns, making their way, making a statement with such an exciting contest is something I always love to see. So, if you can find this fight, then I encourage you to watch it. It's really good. So, yeah, really good. 8-0? Is it 8-0 to the ups? That's the count over. Yeah, it is. Alright, moving on now. We then get to another up and our first performance of the night, as Curtis Melenda knocked out Thiago Alves with a knee at 4 minutes 17 seconds in round 2, and this guy getting up 9-0. I'm really, really positive today. It's weird. Anyway, we'll avoid that. Yeah, Melinda. Curtis, let's just call him Curtis, beat Thiago Alves. It was returning after quite a while away. But Melinda showed really, really good striking. He has really, really strong strikes. He's a big dude with a lot of power in his hands and in his knee, because that's the one that caught Alves in round 2 and knocked him out. So, yeah, the ref stopped it right after that knee, because Thiago Alves was out on his feet, especially by the end of round 1. He'd been upcutted. He had been punched quite a lot in the face, which I know isn't something you often see in the UFC, but he was punched quite a lot in the face. So, yeah, I mean, it was a really, really good back and forth thing while it lasted, but Melinda definitely did have the better of it, and he proved it when he won in round 2 with a knockout, and got himself performance of the night, so nothing wrong with it. Moving on. So, 9-0. Woo! 3 more fights to go. We're almost done. Stick with me. And it's another up. I think all the fights may as well be ups by this point. It's another up, as James Vick took on Francisco Trinaldo, and Vick won by unanimous decision. But it was not an easy win. Despite Trinaldo being a lot shorter, because James Vick is 6'3" and still a welterweight for some reason. That's insane. I'm 6'3". I could fit, light heavyweight maybe. I don't think I could fit welterweight. Look at me. Anyway, Vick definitely did get the win. Pardon me. Little tiny burp. Not as bad as my previous ones. And he definitely earned the win. And Trinaldo, like, he's a tough son of a gun. He's a very, very strong veteran. Excuse me. And he, he always wins. He's got really, really good power. He did clip Vic a few times, but Vic managed to get the advantage with his superior grappling and height advantage and reach advantage. So, yeah, no complaints about the win. 10-0 to the ups. Moving on again. Woo woo. Now we get to our co-main event in the evening between Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast, and Marcin Tybura. And I was a bit hesitant to give this fight an up before, but now I'm going to give it an up. It was a really, really good fight. I mean, there was enough back and forth, and Derrick Lewis was the other person who kept performance tonight. He won by TKO in round 3 at 2 minutes 48 seconds. It was, it was fairly back and forth, but Lewis, proved just how damn strong he is. If he can wrestle you down, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, I apologize for my use of language there, but there's a very good chance that when he's on top of you, he's going to just murder your face. He's going to just kill you. And he proved that. Even though in round 1 it was touch and go with Marcin Tybura, even getting a really good Kimura lock by the end of the round. Didn't, seal the deal, but it looked really tight for us a little bit, even though he was on his back. But, yeah, really, really good back and forth. 11-0 to the ups, so. And Derrick Lewis got the win, got a performance of the night bonus out of it, and I like Derrick Lewis. I think he's a damn good fighter. Not fully main event potential, but he's going to get there one day. I feel like Derrick Lewis could be a future heavyweight champion. If he keeps going, he could fight Stipe Miocic and probably beat him. Maybe. That's just me. Then again, I do like Stipe Miocic a lot as well. Sorry, fantasy booking just going on in my head. Even though it's weird to call it booking because it's UFC, not WWE. Is it? Wow. I'm going to move on to the main event before my head explodes. And then we reached the main event of the evening between Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Yancy Medeiros, and Cerrone won by the end of round 1 with 2 seconds left at 4 minutes 58, and got a good, he won by TKO, and it's going to get an up, so that's basically a clean sweep, all ups through this card. Weird. I quite like this fight. Medeiros, he's a tough dude. I mean, he proved that by getting one of my favourite fights of the year last year, and he hung in there well enough with Cerrone, but Donald Cerrone, people do not talk enough about how damn fucking awesome Donald Cerrone is. And not only that, one of the nicest fighters you will ever meet. As a rule, he's a very, very nice guy. He showed respect to Medeiros. I mean, there was even a moment where there was a breakaway on the ground, or a breakaway in the clinch, because the ref stopped it, because they weren't doing anything. And when that was broken, Cerrone offered Medeiros a hug, and Medeiros gave him a hug. And it was nice. I just really like Donald Cerrone. Respectful, hell of a fighter, really good striking, good submissions, even though he hasn't really submitted anyone for a long time, he's really, really good at it. So, yeah, I mean, solid all around, just cool dude, and really, really good fight between him and Medeiros. Medeiros did get some clips in. I think he actually rocked Cerrone with a couple of lefts at some points as well. But, you know what? I really enjoyed this card. I would dare say it's better than last week's card was. It was just a lot more excitable, a lot more enjoyable. The Texas crowd were especially just on fire. And I'd probably give this one a solid 9 out of 10, to be honest. This was a damn awesome card. Well, maybe even a 10 out of 10 because I gave it a full thing. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I give number of reviews to the UFC cards. I'll just stick the ups and downs, I think. Or do I keep... I'll keep doing number of reviews, I think. I don't know. It's up to me. Anyway, I'll see you all either Wednesday or Thursday, because I'm a little bit behind on my counterparts backtracking episode, because, yesterday or the day before, I don't remember which day, I had a bad tummy ache, I felt sick, wasn't really in the mood to write, but I'm a lot better now. Thanks for asking, even though you didn't. And, after that, I'll see you, okay, that one will be out either Wednesday if I can get 2 albums written today, or Thursday if I just stick to one a day again. And then after that, should be the next UFC card, Josh Emmett versus Jeremy Stephens. Unless something else comes out before then, I don't really know what. But, yeah, really can't think of much else to say. I really enjoyed this UFC card. Really, really awesome. And I'll see you all in the next video, whatever video that is. And as always, I apologise for sounding drunk. I don't know why I sound drunk. It's just part of I have a natural drunken slur. I don't really know why. Anyway, thank you for listening. You're awesome. Bye bye. And that's it. Bye bye.